Welcome everybody to Rolling on Three, the first podcast for all three wheelers, whether you're riding on a Ryker, Spider, Slingshot. This is the show for you. So today I want to welcome my friend Neil, all the way from Canada. Neil, welcome to the show.
Pleasure to be here. Been following you for many, many months, my friend.
Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you for the support and all of that. So I'll start off the show with the same question. What are you rolling on?
Rolling on a 900 Ace.
Nice. Where did you, what year?
It's a 2019. I got it as a demo. It had been used at a lot of events by the local dealer. And I got him to swap out the panels on it for me because I got the supersonic green panels and kind of went with that because it was a limited edition color.
Sweet. That's nice. Where did you get it from? Like, I
got it from the Can Am dealer.
Okay.
Fun Motorsports is what the company's name is. And yeah, they had a few out there, and this is the one I settled on.
Oh, okay. Was it far away from where you would live, or?
That's about a 10-minute drive from one end of the city to the other. I'm in Saskatchewan, Saskatchewan, which is tough because I've been on Beth's podcast a couple of times, and I'll say, "Hi, it's Neil from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan," and she'll look at it and she'll butcher it like everybody else does.
I think I got it right a few times.
Good.
I think I saw you on the live, and I think I got it right.
Yeah.
So since we're talking about Saskatoon, how is the riding? Roads, weather? Tell me a little bit about the riding.
Well, style. we're on the prairie, so it's a lot of flat. There is not a lot of hill action. There's not a lot of curbs, so I can pretty much put my Atlas throttle lock on and just point west and go for miles, or up here kilometers and kilometers, until I hit a bend or a curve, or see an animal on the road and have to avoid it. But yeah, other than that, it's just, it's wind therapy for me. Get out there, throw the earbuds in, crank up some tunes, and just go.
All right. That open road is amazing. I love when I see people able to get out and take those long trips. So I guess it's more, I know it's not dirt roads, so it's nice paved, even roads.
Yeah, well, it's as nice as the highways department or the local towns decide they want to keep their pavement up on. I've hit a couple of places where we've had to kind of detour off as they're working on them and stuff. And sometimes I wish, I should have maybe have gotten the other version of this with the rally, because it's a little more off-road than I was expecting, because I'd gone through a construction zone where we were on loose gravel and sand, and the back end was kicking out on me. But I went, so this is what the drifting feels like. So I was actually playing with it.
That's awesome. Yeah, maybe I should have went with the rally with these streets from New York, because I'll tell you right now, I've taken a beating, but I've did little upgrades to get it by. But some of my fellow riders have really taken it to the next level. Boy, they have really beat their Rykers down.
Yeah, no, and I've seen some good stuff. And the other group that's out of Philadelphia, and the riders out there, that some of their streets are not as wonderful either. So yeah, I feel everybody's pain when they're hitting some of those potholes, or they just kind of you get a little too close to the car in front of you, and all of a sudden it's, oh crap, I can't avoid this.
Yeah, that's the truth. So Neil, tell me a little bit about yourself.
I used to be in radio for the first 25 years, and then got into sales, and that's where I am now. Sales at a seniors community that, folks looking to make that transition from their house to a place where it's a little bit more seniors friendly. That's kind of what I do, and always liked motorcycles. I had a Road King up until about a year and a half ago. I had some balance issues, and my wife said, "You know what? I'm not real comfortable with that," because she followed me a couple of times when I had to take the bike out to a storage place, and she says, "You're kind of wandering all over the place a bit." So that's what led me to the whole Ryker and three-wheel community, was the fact that, if I'm going to stay upright, I might as well do it on three wheels and not have to put my feet down.
That's what's up, man. That's great. So you got a history of biking. So you've been riding all your life then.
Yeah, in and out. Dad was at the Air Force, so we really didn't have access to a motorcycle a lot. But when friends would have them, I'd jump on any chance I could get and disappear for an hour. And they go, "Where did you go?" I said, "For a ride." He said, "Take it for a spin." So I did.
Well, the people don't understand a spin on a motorcycle is not around the block, man.
No, it is not.
It's putting some miles on. That's how you really get to enjoy it. You gotta
Absolutely.
at least get it hot. At least get it.
Well, yeah. You got to warm the thing up, see what it's going to do for you.
That's a fact. That's a fact. So you said radio. Were you like an announcer? You have the voice for it.
Well, that's what everybody tells me. I've got the voice for it. That's what I did when I first started getting into radio. I went to college and got into broadcasting, and was on air, did all of that. And then I got behind the scenes, did a lot of production, got into television and did some voicing and production work there, and then transitioned into sales. But yeah, every once in a while I'll get somebody that wants some voicing work done, and I'll go and do some commercial voiceovers.
We'll talk. I like your voice. Maybe I could do an intro for my show instead of
there you go. Rolling on 3.
I like that. I like that. We're gonna talk behind the scenes.
Okay.
So let me say, when you take the bike out, I'm assuming it's more recreation. So like, what do you like to do? Like,
well, the nice thing is, the reason I got the Ryker over anything else was the fact that it's a little more urban street bike. I can take it out, like usually on a Saturday or Sunday, I'll go for a 6-hour ride. I find a loop that I like to do, and we'll head out and do 500-600 kilometers worth of driving. But then during the week, come home from work, get on the bike and just buzz around town. And I kind of like how it handles in the city. So it's a good bike for both. I wish there was cruise control on this, but I've got a throttle lock that helps. And now that they've come out in the 2022 models, they've put it in there as standard. So, hindsight's 2020, but it's just a fun bike to have. And I tell you, I have never, it unnerved me when I first got it, because every time I sat and stopped at an intersection or drove by, there are people and kids pointing, going, "What is that?" This is like, okay, they're pointing. After a while, it's okay. Yeah. Now I realize, because the front end of that bike has a face to it, it gets noticed everywhere I go, and people are stopping you. So yeah, I've now gotten used to the fact that I'll talk a little bit more about the bike. What is it? Where'd you get that? Oh, that's so cool.
Odd that you would have that, since BRP is a Canadian-based company. Oddly, you have people still asking you what that is, and it's made there.
I know. Yeah, it's out of actually, the bike is made in Mexico,
right?
But it's BRP, which is Bombardier Recreational Products, out of Quebec. So yeah, they're the parent company of it. But yeah, there's not a lot of 3 wheels. I ride with a couple of other riding groups, and we do a motorcycle ride for Dad for prostate cancer and get 400 or 500 bikes. And you only see about 2 or 3 trikes show up to those things.
Really?
A lot of them are still, the big cruisers and baggers and sport bikes. So, but I'm starting to notice this year alone about a half a dozen trikes on the road. So we're starting to get a little group. That's why I've kind of got the monikers, the t-shirt shows Sask Ryker, and I'm building a brand, something like yours. But we're trying to get a group together so that 2 or 3 or 4 of us, or half a dozen, either just buzz around town or go out for a highway cruise, because it's a lot more fun when you got folks with you that are the like-minded ones, where you're talking about your mods and what you've done and what you'd like to do and how much money you've spent already on things.
Absolutely. And BRP informed me a long time ago that do not refer to the Can Am as a trike.
Yeah.
They just they constantly, well, it was one of the things when they reached out to me, they was like, "We have specific names you can call this." So I was like, okay, I don't want to mess around, You get it.
Well, and the first thing, somebody looked at me and went, "Oh, you got a reverse trike." And I thought, no, it's 3 wheels. It's whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I've referred to it as a trike. This is probably the first time I've actually called it that. But yeah, it's just 3 wheels of fun for me.
Yeah, just be careful. BRP is always listed. Is I've been trying to work with BRP because I want to go to Canada and
Yeah.
experience the whole thing. Is Canada still closed for me?
Actually, no, we're just opened up the borders.
Oh,
So,
okay.
so yeah, you're more than welcome to come up, and we're allowed to come down and visit you folks. So
Yeah.
absolutely.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm waiting for my invitation. Well, BRP extended an invitation, but now
Yeah.
that it's open,
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure I get back on their backs and say, hey,
Yeah.
it's time for me to pay a visit over to the factory there.
Absolutely, and have a look at what they've got. Because, like I said, the Rykers, the entry bike. Like, I didn't realize this bike even existed until last year when I was looking. I thought, okay, I'm going to have to go with the F3 or the RT Limited and stuff,
Right,
and a lot
right,
higher price point than what I was willing to pay. And then when I
right.
saw one of these buzzing around town, I went, "What the heck is that?" And I saw Can Am on the side of the cowling, and I went, "Okay, going up to the dealership, see what this one's all about."
That's right. I was following Can Am since it came out in 2009, I think it was. But like
Mhm.
you said, the price point was too much. And from
Yeah,
being on two wheels, I was like, I'm not gonna spend it. And I didn't know about the Riker either until a friend of mine that I used to talk to about that. He was like, those things are ugly. I can't stand them because he's a big time biker. He was like,
yeah.
hey, did you see that thing called the Riker? I was like, what? He was like, yeah, you follow three wheels. So I went online and I saw the picture. I said, oh, I got to get it. I was like, so
Yeah.
I always credit my friend when I tell him, I say, this is all your fault, right? You the one who walked up to me and said, hey, did you see that? I
Yeah.
would have probably never even looked. And I was
Yeah.
like, I credit him for that.
Nice.
Yeah, that was cool. That was cool. So Neil, when you're riding around town
Yep.
or the town you're in,
Yep.
uh, if I come to visit Canada, where am I going? Where's the chill spots? Where's the bike spots? Where's the food spots? Tell me all about the town.
Oh, Saskatchewan is an awesome province. Saskatoon is probably the hotbed for the food. Uh, like, it's got the more restaurants per capita than any other city in Canada. That's
Wow.
how food centric we are. Like, there
Wow.
are mom and pop little places. There's food trucks. There's ice cream stands right up to. We had something similar, I guess, on the Food Network. You guys have, the competitions with the chefs. We have
Right.
Top Chef Canada, and the winner actually moved back to Saskatoon, was originally from here, and has opened up 3 restaurants since. And the food scene here has just exploded, and it's just phenomenal. So yeah, that's usually where we end up, is like, we'll find a place, whether it's a little hole in the wall for a couple of cocktails and some poutine or fries or whatever we're going to have, or we'll just hit the road. Like last time I was out on the road with this buddy of mine, JT, him and I hit this small town that, when I was in the food service industry, met up with these folks, and it's a small town, maybe about 500-600 people if they're lucky,
Wow.
and pull in there, and we get hugs coming in, and it's like, here, have a look at it, and the food just keeps coming, and it's like, oh
Wow.
God, we can't finish this. And we go, we pay for it. My buddy looks at me and goes, I can't finish any of this stuff. But yeah, it's just that much fun. And around town, yeah, we've got some gorgeous scenery, city streets, and it's just, we've got a couple of big loops that we like to do around town. And again, that's where we start getting noticed. And yeah, and if we want to do a highway run or just short hops out for maybe an hour and a half or something, we can, or do the full day thing.
Right. Oh, okay. So I only been to Niagara Falls, and people say, well, that's not really Canada. That's just
So that's
cross.
Disneyland.
Yeah. That's just crossing the street in New York
Yeah,
City, right? New
yeah,
York. You just cross the street, right?
yeah.
So what am I gonna eat when I go down there? Like, what do you say? All right, what's the food you gotta have when you get? I had the poutine, which I
Yeah,
liked it, enjoyed it,
yeah,
but like,
yeah.
that's what everybody eats. What's the
Oh,
secret?
absolutely. Yeah, no, there are a couple of great restaurants. There's one in town that just came in a few years ago, and they have got kind of one of the best pizzas. It's called Una Pizza. It's on Broadway Avenue. Broadway Avenue is kind of our funky, cool district.
Okay.
Downtown is starting to redevelop, but Broadway has got restaurants everywhere. So there'll be a Starbucks, and there'll be like the Broadway Cafe, the diner spots and stuff where, you know, if you're big into salads, there's one thing called the Toronto salad, oddly enough. But yeah, if you like pizza or you like tacos and burritos, there's all of that. And then there's a huge microbrewery set up in Saskatchewan as well, that a lot of these places, that if you're looking for a local brew, you can pretty much do an entire weekend of hitting all the little local breweries and going on those tours and sample some of their products. And I'll stack it up against some of the major brands day after day. It's just got, because again, they're kind of managing the small batch stuff, and it's great. So we'll go out for a pizza and beer. You know, we'll have a flight of wine or something. But yeah, it's when you come, you go up to Niagara Falls, you turn west, and you go for about 2-3 days. And when you see the road is flat and there's no trees, you've hit Saskatchewan.
All right. Okay. Now I know. We'll have a little debate later about that pizza, though. You know, I'm from New York City.
Well, exactly. Yeah.
Well,
I haven't been to New York for the slice there either.
Yeah. You know, but I'll let that one go. We'll talk about that later. That turns into a big debate on my shows when we bring up pizza. But
and I've seen a couple of shows on YouTube about, you know, tomato pies, and I made one of those last week. And then, yeah, the slices, you know, from, you know, how you top it and everything. And I'm going, oh my God, I could live there just for that alone.
Yeah, it's no joke. It's no joke. So when you're out, you said you're hanging out with your people. How big is your ride group, or are you doing more alone rides, or you just getting together?
It's just starting to get going. We've got about 3 or 4 of us that will get together and do some rides, depending on what people have got for availability on the weekends. A buddy of mine that just lives in a little town north of here. Him and I get together more often. He's never done a lot of highway riding, so him and I went out for this big 6-hour loop. Okay. And again, your head's on a swivel, because you're just looking around going, oh my God, look at the canola crops, and look at all of this and that. And, you know, it's just, you're just in awe of nature when you're out there. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. And then again, you're hitting the small town gas stations, because you have to gas up with the Ryker because of the tank size. So but yeah, it gets you the connections. You walk in, everybody's, hi, how you doing? You know, and of course the guys in the farm trucks pull up going, what's that?
Yeah, I see you sent me some pictures of the bike with the green on it. That's dope. And
yeah, that was the one picture with the semi parked next to it. We were at a car show. We were doing the motorcycle ride for Dad, and this group of semi tractor units pulled up right across the street from us. I said, oh my God, I got to get my bike over there and get a picture of that. And that's one of the fun pictures.
Yeah, that's a nice picture. That was pretty. I said, wow, this guy has a truck.
No,
same color as his bike. I said, that's amazing.
Oh, I wish. Yeah. Yeah, that thing rolled in, and I just went, my jaw just hit the floor, and I'm going, oh my God. I talked to the owner after, and he thought it was quite funny that this little thing just got scooted up next to it for a photo op.
That's cool. That's really, really cool. But let's talk about those mods. Everybody likes to hear about mods and money. So what have you done, man?
What haven't I done? The first thing I got was a windshield. I was looking around, and F4 Customs is what I got.
Okay.
When Night Ryker was still Night Ryker, he did a whole review on it, and I thought, well, I'll see where this is all out of. So it's out of Florida, and of course the exchange rate and the shipping and everything. And I thought, this is going to be an investment, but I thought, I need this if I'm going to be doing the highway stuff, just because I'd rather the bugs on the windshield than my teeth. So ordered that, got it up, and then it started from there. I've got the top-notch Ryker Mods grill guard. I've got shock covers. I've got all kinds. I've got the hand guards from Can Am. I've got the deflectors. I've got the bag for the back. I've got the shed top case on the side, because if you're out on the highway, you're going to need, to put your helmet and everything, make sure it's locked up. I've got the tank bag. I also have from Sling Mods and Tough Skins a matching green panel on the front, and the little canard covers there. I've got the interior frunk liner, because again, that trunk is a little, I didn't want stuff rolling all over the place.
Yeah.
So yeah, storage was the big thing. The windshield was that. I've got the Atlas throttle lock on just for cruising the highways. Yeah, and I know a lot of people when they first get into it go, oh my God, this is expensive. But again, it's an investment. I did that with my Road King. If I needed something, if it was a couple of $100, it was a couple of $100 or $150, that was fine. The stuff I haven't done is exhaust. Because by the time it gets up here, because whether you're looking at a Brandon King or an RLS or whatever, this buddy of mine, JT's got one. Right. He told me it was like $1,000 by the time the exchange rate and everything hit to get it up here. It sounds awesome. Like it's not one of the real loud ones, but it just is great. But I'm going, I can't justify, spending that kind of money. I can probably get about 5 or 6 other items for that price.
Yeah.
As nice as it sounds. And he said, the weight differential on it and just the performance when he throws it in rally mode is great. And the other thing I can't do, or I won't do and can't do, and I'll explain why I won't and I can't, are lighting upgrades. Like in the States, you guys can probably run all kinds of flashing lights and all of those kind of things. Well, in some states.
Certain state, it's actually in most states, people don't notice. In most states, it is illegal to run flashing lights. They can't be the colors of yellow, white, red, or blue.
That's exactly what it is here.
Okay.
Yeah. So if I'm going to be putting lights on, they can only be on, and it's when the bike is parked. So at car shows or meets with those kind of things in the evening, it would look cool. But I'm thinking, why would I spend, again, a couple of $100 on something that I'm only going to turn on every once in a while? Plus, folks have mentioned there are issues with the wiring. You overload certain things on it. And I thought, I'm not all that handy to begin with. And if something's going to go wrong, it's going to go wrong with me trying to rewire something. And I'm going, no.
Okay.
So, and the fact that, it's not a good thing to be driving along and have a cop pull you over and go, you see all those lights? Yeah, no. So I'm going, okay, that's probably the only 2 things that I won't get done.
Right.
Floorboards, I'm probably going to add in the spring just for comfort more than anything. And it's one of those things. It's just a little more for comfort. And there's probably going to be the odd thing that'll go, well, I really don't need it, but I really want that.
Yeah, that's what happens to me all the time.
Yeah.
As for the light thing, though, it's just like it's like one of those things where I don't know out there, but in New York City, it can be enforced. Is it enforced? It's like one of those debates. Like, are you really, it's like one of those things, right? It's so many people have it. You would be riding around all day, pulling people over. So it's like one of those things where they can if they want, but most of the time they don't.
Yeah, here they don't. They don't allow you to have it.
Oh.
So as soon as they see it,
wow.
Because I think what their philosophy is, if they see one person do it, well, if he's doing it, why can't I? So everybody would start doing it, and then they'd be just chasing everybody down. But because I've actually been on a ride with a guy on a Harley. He did the engine lights and everything in red. That wasn't flashing or anything. We were on a cruise, got pulled over, and the RCMP pulled him over and said, and the rest of us go, oh, what did he do? And he said, turn the lights off.
Wow.
And he said, well, I can't. And he said, this is your warning. He says, I need to see this bike in a week without the lights. And he goes, okay. So he wrote him a ticket, and he had to go to the police station to show them that when he started up the bike, the lights didn't come on.
Wow.
So they're very strict about that. So they've clamped down. And there was a couple of years ago where they just started enforcing a motorcycle noise bylaw and all of that. So the motorcycle community kind of got all up in arms because, again, guys like to mod their bikes, and there's the few that will crack the throttle way too many times, but it's no big issue. But the lighting thing, they nipped that in the bud right away.
Wow. Well, loud pipes save lives. So,
and that's exactly what's happened with my Road King. I've had people veer into my lane until I've cracked that throttle.
Yeah, right.
It wakes them up.
Yeah, I mean, I've been riding, I was riding for many years, and let me tell you, man, that makes a difference, because the only time I've ever been in an accident is when I'm not moving.
Exactly. Yeah.
So unless I can get that exhaust to constantly make that sound,
Yeah.
it's only when I'm stopped. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
crazy.
I hear you.
How much have you spent in mods?
If see the bike, I got, for a pretty good price, so I didn't pay full retail.
Great.
And I've probably spent, and I'm saying that rather quietly because my wife's in
Everybody
the other
does.
room, about $3,500 on mods already.
That's actually not bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
And
not
that's
bad.
in year one. So there's more to come. But again, when you get it, you start personalizing it. I've got,
Yes.
all the tough skin things for the wheels that are matched in the same supersonic green. And like I said, I've done all these things again I wanted the top-notch thing, not only for the look at the front of the grill, but again, we got bugs, the size of, small rats here. So, I wanted something just to not, be going through and damaging the rat on that thing.
That's funny. You got the windshield for bugs,
Yeah.
and I got it for the big tractor trailers that kick up, the
Rocks.
nickel size rocks off the ground, So
Yeah.
we both have the same problem with different items coming at us.
Exactly.
That's wild. That's wild, man. That's wild. So, you told me about, you're working on building a brand. Tell me
Yep.
what that's about and what's going on with that.
Well, when I first started getting into this, I thought I'd love, because I was following you and Beth and King Jaffe Joe, and I thought, wow, these guys are doing stuff that I kind of want to do, because had all kinds of instructional videos and just the life and the lifestyle and everything that the bike affords you guys, whether it's the Philly scene or what's going on in New York, or Beth down in Florida and 2000-degree heat. And I thought, no, this is kind of something I'd like to get going. So I started the brand, and I have a friend whose daughter is very talented, and she came up with this logo. I said, I want a Joker. So I gave her free rein, and she's come up with that logo. So that you will see on the front and the back of my bike. I've actually got it put into the bike. The shirt I'm wearing has that logo on the back. I've got stickers and magnets and those kind of things. So when we're at car shows, especially where that big semi was sitting, kids would come up and stuff. And I said, it's called the Joker. I said, would you like to take them home? And they go, really? I said, well, no, not really, but here's a sticker, or here's a fridge magnet or something. So yeah, you start building the brand, and I want to start doing more kind of YouTube stuff, just talking about my experience and my rides and those kind of things. And just kind of, doing it from a prairie perspective and things that, because a lot of what you guys do, you have access to, like I said, the parts and the communities, where up here we don't. So we're kind of having to build all of that from scratch. So that's kind of where my perspective is going to come from, starting from, a prairie city in the middle of, people look at the map and go, that's in the middle of nowhere. 200,000 people in Saskatoon, and there's maybe about a dozen Rykers out there. So yeah, it's just building building the brand, building Sask Ryker. So yeah, I've got Instagram, I got Facebook, starting up probably in the spring, doing some YouTube videos just on the bike once I get it out of storage, because again, we're going to get snow probably in a couple of weeks, and it'll be 6 months of waist-high snow. And then when it disappears in April, we're back on the road again.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool journey to document, though. There's a lot of room on YouTube for everybody. And
yeah,
that's a pretty cool journey to document out there, and you building the brand. For those who are just listening and not watching, you got to check out his Joker logo and his Sask Ryker shirt there with his logo on it. So definitely everything will be linked in below if you guys are interested. So tell me, if you had to describe your Can Am experience in one word or one sentence, what would it be?
It's a blast.
A
blast. When I had my Road King, you're sitting on top of the engine, you're on the bike. With this, you are in the bike. The motor is in front of you. It's almost right there. It's that visceral low to the ground, feeling that I have not had on a 2 or 3 wheeled vehicle, where you're just going along and you're right in it. It's you become literal, and as much as people say, oh, you become part of the machine. Yes, this is what I feel. I become part of that machine. I feel everything on it. I haven't put the sway bar in, but I put the Baja Run end links on, just to kind of soften it and do it. But I love that feeling. People say, oh, it's so jittery and bouncy. No, I like being connected to the ground. I like to feel everything that I'm driving on, whether it's, some pretty god awful train tracks to, potholes and stuff like that. That visceral feeling, that's what being on a bike is all about. If you're going to, be cushy, and there's nothing wrong with folks that want to have those RT experiences, that, it's a couch on wheels, then absolutely enjoy that, because that's your preference. I got nothing wrong with that. I ride with folks that have those beautiful bikes.
Right.
But for me, if would I enjoy an RT from time to time? Absolutely. But I get back on the Ryker every day of the week, just because of, again, the feel, the look, and the ride of this bike. And it just howls when you get it going. And if I can crack that back wheel out every once in a while, and I do that in eco mode, where get a little gravel and she goes a little squirrely, and people will just stop and go, what the heck is that?
Yeah, that's a feeling. When I describe it to my people, I like, it's like, it's weird. They were like, oh, that thing's gonna flip over. I said, you ride 2 wheels and you're talking about my thing flipping over? I said, trust me.
The only time I've seen something flip over was this past week, and the idiot that decided he'd go to the skate park with his.
Oh yeah.
Everybody shared that video, and my friends are looking at it going, but a buddy of mine out in Vancouver goes, that wasn't you, was it? I went, no.
I'm looking for that guy, Neil. I want him on the podcast, Neil.
Oh, yeah. That's the only time I've seen that bike either off the ground or upside down. Yeah, that was just nuts. And I thought, okay.
I was like, wow. I said, man, this guy, I need this guy on the podcast. I'm searching out tooth and nail. I got all the internet sleuths out there. They're narrowing it down to the state, maybe the city. I said, you got to find this guy for me. I need him on the show. I got to do a whole show.
I kept yelling at that video, let go of the throttle. What are you doing? He's, the only hand that's holding on to that thing is the throttle, and he's still getting dragged along. And I'm going, just let go.
Some of us just can't let go of our right. He was gonna hold on to the dear end, man.
Yeah, that's gonna be his legacy. He's probably seen it already online and going, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Whether he wants to fess up for it or not, but. Yeah, well, I wish you luck finding them. When you do, I'd love to hear that interview.
Oh, gosh, I can't wait. I'm trying. If I don't find them, I'll definitely do a live show where I can hear everybody's questions and comments. Maybe somebody on the live will help me find them,
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Neil, for the people who are just listening and not watching, because, I stream it on all the platforms.
Yep.
Tell them where they could reach you, contact you, learn about your events, what's coming up, just give them your whole breakdown, social media, all that good stuff.
They can find me if they just type in Sask Ryker. That's SASKRYKER. That's on Instagram, and they'll find that also on Facebook. Haven't got the YouTube channel up and running yet, but we'll do that. So also on Twitter. So just type in @Sask Ryker. And we'll have all kinds of, whether it's the rides that we have done, and just pictures of my bike and JT's bike and some of the places we've been, because we do the beauty shots of where we're going and things that we're doing. And it's just going to start building. Like I said, next spring is when we're going to get a little bit more serious about building the brand and getting people a little bit more into the community, because again, I know the local dealer has been doing well, but again, we wanted to build that community, and so far there's a handful of us, but we want to see that handful grow. Like every state and province has got riding communities in there. It's like, hey, the more the merrier. We can help each other out, because JT has got the wheel nut, the 65 millimeter thing with the big, and all of that. So, when we got to get our wheels done, he's breaking that. So We're talking about doing oil changes and stuff because we've seen Thrill Mouse do the siphoning thing
Yes,
and a
yes,
couple of times. So yeah,
yeah.
we're just learning off each other, and it's funny because we just bumped into a guy that had just bought one off of the internet, and he knew nothing about the bike, and I thought,
Oh,
wow.
cool.
But again, he wanted something that was 3 wheels, and he didn't even know what he had for an engine, any of this. He just bought it because it was 3 wheels and it wasn't going to tip over. So, just those kind of things, walking him through. It's like he didn't even know he had a rally mode, and all the things you could do with the display, which is another thing that I really like, is how compact that is, the information that's right at your fingertips.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
That's, like I said, it's a
It,
blast.
it is, and I'm a true lover of the bike, and it came out of nowhere, and I'd probably
Yeah.
be doing all of this even if Can Am didn't reach out to me and
Yeah,
tell
and
me
that's
all
what
the
I'm doing.
wonderful
I'm
things.
I'm promoting the brand, whether Can Am says, we'd love to partner with you or not, because I believe in the product. It's a ride like no other. It's a blast to be
Yeah,
on.
that's true.
Oh, and if anybody wants to reach out to me by email, I guess the one I didn't give is saskryker@gmail.com. So yeah,
Well,
if they
that's
want to
right,
chat.
man. Well, you heard it, everybody, and good luck on your journey, Neil, for your
Thank
YouTube,
you.
and if you need any tips, of course, hit me up. So
Absolutely.
if you need to reach him, all his information will be linked below in this video. You guys should already know me. I'm Keith Hammer from Rolling on 3, the first podcast for all 3-wheelers. If you want to reach me, you can email me at rollingon3wheels@gmail. That's the number 3. You can find me on Instagram, the Shadow Black Ryker, Twitter, TikTok, and all the social media, Rolling on 3. If you just type in the hashtag Rolling on 3, you'll be able to find me. Neil, it was great. I love to have guests from all over the world. So you are the first Canadian I had on the podcast. So shout out to you. Thank you very much for being on the show, bro.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much. And yeah, it's a blast. You're doing it all right.
Thanks, bro.